That's okay. Thank you, Dr. Shore. Also, before I start, I just want to thank you all for being here on behalf of my parents, Michael and I. Really did not think this many people were going to come, so thank you. That's such a testament to Ellie and the Beth Tfiloh community, so we really appreciate it. I'm really going to try not to cry, so just give me a minute. In the winter of 7th grade, I remember rushing from soccer practice to the arts department, cleats and shin guards still on, just to be able to sit outside the closed theater doors and hopefully hear a quick snippet of the Anything Goes rehearsal. It wasn't as though I hadn't been hearing the songs for weeks at this point through our shared bathroom door, but still. I was mesmerized by the production, and most importantly, that the talented star belting and tapping her heart out was my sister. Not that I would ever have given Ellie the satisfaction of knowing that. I sat eagerly in my seat at Friday Assembly as the high school preview was announced, looking side to side, waiting excitedly to see my classmates' reaction to just how fabulously talented my sister was. I then sat silently in the back of the theater throughout the week of tech rehearsals, watching in awe. I loved that show. So much so that even after sitting outside rehearsals, watching tech rehearsals, and sitting front and center through each of the 4 performances, I never wanted it to end. I actually walked into school the Monday after Anything Goes closed and was brought to tears by the fact that the set had begun to be broken down. That production was one of the first times I remember thinking, wow, not only is Ellie good, but she's the best. She isn't just talented for her age, she's just plain old talented. It was here at Beth Tfiloh that Ellie realized she could sing. Her 4th grade lower school production, to be exact, when she was chosen as one of the 4 soloists from her class. But as many of us know, talent in the 4th grade music class doesn't always, or usually for that matter, translate into a future career in the arts. During middle school, once Ellie met Mrs. Smith and began singing, acting, and dancing in full-blown musical productions, Ellie found her passion for theater. She began in the ensemble, then went on to be a featured singer, and then by 7th grade, she starred in her first lead role, and the rest was history. Ellie had a voice that could stop time. She would sing, and all of my worries would melt away. She used to hold me on her lap, and sing Hannah Montana in my ear while I got shots to stop me from crying. When I felt lonely or sad upon coming to college, I would sit in bed and watch videos of her sing. Her voice truly made me feel better. How could I be lonely or sad when there was Ellie singing to me? Ellie not only discovered her talent here at Beth Tfiloh, but she also developed a passion and work ethic that stayed with her throughout her life in the theater. With mentors like Mrs. Smith, she learned that theater was meaningful and purposeful, and when done correctly, could truly touch and move people. Ellie was the hardest working person I knew. We used to joke with her that in a family of doctors and future doctors, she got off easy majoring in jazz hands and accents, but nothing is further from the truth. When studying a playwright or preparing for a show by a specific author, Ellie went out and bought all of their plays, read them cover to cover, until she could predict every right acting choice and understand the intention of each of the author's words. She would stand in the shower singing the same note or line of a song over and over and over again until she was sure that it was perfect. She was also the funniest person in my life. She lived to entertain, and if that meant going the extra mile for a laugh, she sure did. She had me laughing until no sound came out more times than I will ever be able to count. Aside from her God-given talent, I truly believe Ellie's pull towards theater was the opportunity to make other people happy and laugh. And if you ever saw her perform, you know that she always succeeded in doing so. By the time she graduated Beth Tfiloh, Ellie had become one of the brightest stars the stage had ever seen. She became the first person in BT history to receive a personal Cappy for her performance in Thoroughly Modern Millie, and the first graduate to pursue a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Musical Theater at a top-tier university. She paved the way for Beth Tfiloh High School's continued growth and success in the Baltimore and national theater communities. She performed a total of 18 productions on this stage, giving her absolute all to every single one. Whether she was standing on the risers singing ensemble and You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, or belting through cartwheels and splits in Drowsy Chaperone, this department was her home for more than half her life. However, Our family has not chosen to dedicate a memorial at Beth Tfiloh simply because of the wonderful faculty and facilities of the Arts Department that helped Ellie hone her talent and passion, but rather because of the values instilled within Ellie and all of us alumni during our time at Beth Tfiloh that have helped to make us each the best individuals we can be regardless of our chosen career. One of the number one things we have heard about Ellie throughout her college years and since her passing is not how talented she was or how hard of a worker she was, even though those are all true. But rather, time after time, within the theater world and outside, we hear that Ellie was a caring, compassionate, empathetic, and generous human being. She was humble, yet confident. She was never threatened by another person's talent. There was more than enough room for her to shine while others shone as well. She applauded her classmates' successes. She pushed people in her life to be more driven, more dedicated, and ultimately to become better people and performers. Her attitude was always that she could do better, work harder, learn more, and as a result, she managed to get better and better each time I saw her perform. She knew that theater and life alike are ensemble work. The production succeeds when every single member, from the lead to the lighting designer, are the best that they can be. Ellie cared about those she loved like no other. She went out of her way to do all she could for you when you were sad. She cheered you on when you succeeded, and most importantly, she pushed you to be your very best self. Her love was unconditional and so very deep. She would go to the ends of the earth for her friends and family. Everything she did with purpose, with determination, and with all of her heart. She was bold and courageous and strong, yet she was smart and diligent and caring. My Ellie was truly the best of both worlds, and as a result, she accomplished more in 22 years, touched more lives in her 22 years than many can in a lifetime. In establishing this Memorial Wall of Fame and award, we hoped to recognize alumni who shared not only Ellie's talent and involvement in the theater arts during their times at Beth Tfiloh, but also have continued on to bring the Beth Tfiloh values into the greater theater arts community in the years since they have graduated. I could not think of a more deserving inaugural awardee than Evan Margolis. Ellie and I watched Evan perform during his high school years on the stage before we even met him or his family. Evan was mine and Ellie's counselor at the Beth Tfiloh Arts Camp, and soon after, Ellie joined him as a fellow counselor where they became peers and friends. Later still, Ellie performed with Evan for the first time, and from then it was clear they both shared an immense talent, passion, and dedication for the theater, more specifically, this theater. Thank you.